We've got ourselves a star-studded cast today. You may notice in this lobby there are some other top-level content creators, some tournament winners, and diligent moderators. Some of these players are actually all three of those. I've somehow found myself in a lobby with some of the best, so it's certainly going to be a very interesting game. Something else that's interesting is the color of these Magikarps. This is a shiny round. Rounds 1, 9, and 19 have a 1 in 40 chance of being a shiny round. And as a reward for completing it, in addition to the regular item that you would get, you are given a choice of 3 shiny items. In my opinion, there are 3 items that are a significant cut above the others, and if you don't get one of those 3, it's going to be a very uphill battle. Thankfully, I was offered 2 of the 3 items I like to see, and I pick what, in my opinion, is the best one for round 1, the gold bottle cap. The gold bottle cap is basically an amulet coin on steroids. Not only does it give you gold on each kill, you also gain scaling crit chance and crit damage based on how much gold you have, and if the bottle cap holder is able to get the last kill of a round, it will gain 5 gold instead of 1. Getting this item at round 1 can skyrocket your money so far ahead of everyone else, and with the right luck, you can even get to 20 money before round 3 ends. Unfortunately, my Aaron did a pretty terrible job against the Rattatas, but regardless, I'm still very happy to see this item so early on, and why don't we bring back our money counter that we used in another video. And let's also talk about itemization. Obviously, since your bottle cap holder wants to be picking up all the kills, and it's also going to be doing a lot of critical hits, we really want to see black glasses, because any item that benefits off of critical hits is a perfect complement to the bottle cap. And also very crucial is good base attack damage and attack speed. So we want to see lots of charcoals and magnets. I've already made myself a red orb, and I can also make a Razor Fang. And Razor Fang is great because it also gives crit chance and crit damage, and a little bit of attack speed. Very nice. And in our first battle of the game, we go against a player who picked up a repeat ball. A lot of people find that item very strong, but in my opinion, it's very bad. It does give the opportunity of earning multiple uniques and legendaries. It generally favors a more hyper-rolling playstyle, which I don't have. And right away, in this round, our Lickitung made us 8 money. So we've already spent some money in experience points, but we're also at 20 money. And imagine if the first 2 rounds went my way, then that would have put me at over 30 money. Regardless, we'll pick up another magnet here, as well as a core fish. Since the bottle cap provides such good enhancements towards critical hits, a very straightforward team to pursue would be Dark Synergy, but another great option is Monster Synergy, since ultimately your goal is to have one Pokemon pick up all the kills. In our next round, we'll face off against a player with a White Flute, an item that summons a ton of wild Pokemon to help you fight. It can be pretty strong, but it definitely forces you to go wild. Overall, it's a pretty consistent item at doing well, but I don't find it ultimately as versatile as a bunch of the other items. Regardless, we lose this round pretty badly, but that's fine. It's pretty difficult to be able to confidently win streak in these super volatile shiny games, but as long as I'm able to make money off of the bottle cap, I'm happy. Anyways, going into the next round, we see another repeat ball player. It looks like they're trying to do a hyper-rolling dragon flying strategy. Unfortunately for them, it's not strong enough to handle a barrage of critical hits. And as we continue along this game, we're not seeing the most amazing shops, but that's fine. We're currently working with an active Ghost Synergy and Wild Synergy. The idea is to try to pick up as many kills as we can using that Wild attack bonus and the Ghost Synergy defense drops. Our next battle is against yet another repeat ball user. They're also trying to lose streak with babies. I just see that as free gold for my Lickitung. Unfortunately, we miss yet another jackpot, but that's fine. We're definitely not unhappy about our economy at this point. Our next Pokemon item draft has Cacnea, as well as a Never Melt Ice. That seems like a great choice for me because I have a certain item in mind. I'll bring it up as soon as I'm able to make it, but with Cacnea, we're able to hit Dark 3 Synergy, giving all of our Dark Pokemon increased critical hit chance and critical hit damage. Combine that with our bottle cap and damage items, we have a truly devastating Lobster. I also throw in a Chikorita for some temporary grass synergy, not sure if it's better than Ghost. We're going up against a very early Gyarados thanks to that rare candy. That's an item that automatically evolves its holder, so that means you can have a Gyarados as early as round 5. But as crazy as having a Gyarados this early is, it's no match for our Lobster with a bottle cap, almost tripling the damage output of that Gyarados. And as we head into our non-player Gyarados round, we're already warmed up thanks to that last player. I'm able to evolve myself a Nuzleaf and pick up a Duskull. Duskull is great because it is a dark ghost, but it's also a ranged unit, meaning it's much less likely to die than my other Pokemon. So I swap over the bottle cap to the Duskull. We're also already at level 6, so we'll take on Gyarados with this fine troop of units. And with every Duskull attack, Gyarados loses a huge chunk of its HP, and we're finally able to snag another 5 gold jackpot. For our unique portal, as I've said before, Dark Synergy works very well, so we want that one with the dark symbol. But worst case scenario, we snag one with a monster symbol instead. With our dark portal, we get 2 good choices in Absol and Lunatone. Ultimately, I decide to go with Lunatone as I like its synergies better. It can work very well with Larvitar, giving it rock synergy. And Larvitar is a fantastic bottle cap holder as it also has monster synergy. And with that game plan in mind, I pick up the Lunatone. Now, Lunatone would be a great holder for that bottle cap, but the problem is that in order to get the bottle cap back, I would have to sell the Lunatone. So for now, we'll keep using the Duskull, and we're also going to start hoarding our money. We don't have enough to fully level up to level 7, so there's no reason to spend that money, especially when it's making that gold bottle cap even stronger. And as we take on another rare candy team, this time with a Blastoise, our Duskull is able to go on an absolute rampage, picking up kill after kill and earning us yet another jackpot. And for our final Pokemon item draft, I pick up a Sneasel with black glasses. Normally Sneasel is a dark Pokemon, but in this region it is not, but we could potentially make use of it in the future. For now, we just want the black glasses because it can pair with a lot of other item components and make some really nice crit items. Our next battle is against a monster team with a shiny stone. Duskull is able to pick up 3 kills super early on in the battle, but it steps into the wrong place at the wrong time and gets one-shot by our opponent's Piloswine. Without our little ghost carry, our opponent's light enhanced Redogon is able to take us down. As we continue along, we have an item carousel. I also have so much money that I can go up to level 7, and I'm still far above 50 money. I end up picking up a Fossil Stone, because with that, I can get a Dusk Stone and hit Dark 5 synergy. That gives me even more crit chance and crit power. And it also makes the possibility of getting monster synergy even more easy. Definitely going to be great if my end goal is to have a super powerful Tyranitar. With our dark team, we'll face off against a hyper rolling water team. They've got so many fully evolved Pokemon, but in the end it doesn't matter because our unevolved Duskull just one-shots everything anyways. Alright, at this round I don't do much. Because the bottle cap gets stronger with held money, there's no reason to spend. Let's go right into the next battle against the White Flute Wild player. They might see the White Flute as a way to overwhelm us, but I just see it as free gold, because that's just going to be even more kills for my Duskull to have. Super satisfying watching the little ghost one-shot everything. And that's going to be another jackpot for me. Alright, in the next shop, we finally find ourselves a Larvitar. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to get Monster Synergy, Dark Synergy, and Larvitar in play. But ultimately, I think it's more useful for that Duskull to hold onto the bottle cap still as it has 2 range. We are able to get to level 8 and maintain 50 money, so we'll do just that heading into this non-player round. We haven't rolled the shop or even evolved any Pokemon other than this Nuzleaf, but we're somehow leading the game in level, health, and gold. Really goes to show you how stupid round 1 shiny games can be. We're not able to pick up a jackpot this round, but we do get a black glasses. We also pick up a Twisted Spoon, and now I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to continue my team. At this point, I'm a little bit stunned to know fully what to do. I would have liked to pick up more black glasses. I would love to make a wide lens to make that Larvitar a ranged unit, but that does mean I would be using up my only black glasses. And also, Larvitar is unevolved right now. It's not really going to be an upgrade to that Duskull. And as we take on the Hyper Rolling Dragon team, our unevolved Dark team has pretty much no health or defenses. Meanwhile, our opponent have very strong Psychic Dragons nestled in the backline. When they cast their abilities, they're pretty much able to one-shot whatever they're targeting. So that's going to be another round loss for me. Now, because I'm spending as little money as I can, I'm really struggling to evolve my Pokemon, and I really do need to make some changes and decisions soon. But I decide to hold off just one more round as we have an item carousel coming up. We'll take on a very beefy normal sound team. Despite our Duskull still doing so much damage, our opponents ultimately just have way too much stats and shielding for mine to handle. So with this round lost, it's very clear for me that I need to make some growth to my team. Our next shop has a Poniard in it, which is a fantastic late game sweeper, and that puts some ideas in my head. However, looking at the item carousel, there are no black glasses. Very unfortunate to see. but I end up picking up a charcoal. And at this point, I make the decision, instead of going for that Tyranitar plan, let's commit to this Poniard. I build myself a wide lens, turning that Poniard into a ranged unit. I sell the Duskull, thank you for your service, but I can now transfer that bottle cap over to Poniard. And before I put the Razor Fang on that Poniard, there are some things I need to consider. Now, it seems like most players' teams are pretty locked in, and based on the battles that I've already fought, my biggest struggle has been high defense Pokemon. I ultimately decide to give it the true damage dealing Red Orb. I nestle it into the corner, protected by the rest of my team, and let's see that ranged Poniard in action as it takes on this water team. It's doing a ton of damage, but it's unfortunately missed out on a lot of kills, but in the end, it's able to grab us the win and a jackpot. Alright, this round, I decide to finally make some items and throw them onto our second strongest dark Pokemon, Lunatone. He gets a Razor Fang as well as a Punching Glove. I also make a Shell Bell and give that to our frontline Larvitar. We'll take on yet another rare candy water team. In addition to their scary Blastoise, they've also got a Sobble, but the rest of their team gets decimated by our Poniard and Lunatone. We just barely miss out on the jackpot, but we're able to pick up the win. And as we head into our legendary non-player round, I have enough money to get to level 9, but there's not much reason to do so just yet. Let's first see what our legendary is. We'll take down Lugia and Ho-Oh, getting us another jackpot and pick up a final charcoal. There are so many aquatic symbols, especially the one right in front of my face. Looking back, I definitely should have gone into it, as I would have been able to grab myself a Shadow Lugia, but I will instead just head into this dark portal, grab myself a Yveltal, or I like to call it Bacon Wings. We'll dump our excessive amounts of money to hit level 9, and we'll throw in the Bacon Wings to get Dark 7 synergy. And now that I'm at level 9, I do want to start rolling the shop and make my frontline as beefy as possible, but I do still want to hoard money for that bottle cap, and I also really need to evolve my Poniard. For now, we'll take on our next opponent. It doesn't look like they were able to get their Shiny Stone or Light Synergy to pop off. They do have a very scary Guzzlord that's able to ramp up, but thanks to our bottle caps and our punching gloves, we take it down no problem, picking up another jackpot. And in this round, I finally decide to start rolling. There's definitely some much needed evolutions and replacements for my team. I'm able to grab myself a Happiny, which is a fantastic late game support tank. One of this team's weaknesses is statuses like Paralysis or Ghost Curses. Thankfully no one's playing Ghost this game, but Happiny can cleanse any paralysis or other status effects. We'll take down yet another water team and pick ourselves up yet another jackpot. And in this carousel, I'm locked in on one item and one item only, the Dusk Stone. Protective pads would be great if someone was playing fairies, but no one's doing that. So all I want for Christmas is this second Dusk Stone. Since I'm trying to replace my units, it just gives me way more versatility in beefing up my front line. My goal is basically to just do an Ultra spam, just get as many frontline Ultra Pokemon as I can, while maintaining Dark 7 synergy. We evolve our Cacnea into Cacturne, who alongside Happiny can provide our team human synergy. Here I also pick up a Snover and a Ditto. I should have definitely considered that Sewaddle, as I could have hit Grass 3 synergy, but Sewaddle is definitely not as tanky as Onix. For some reason, I replaced the Snover instead of the Goomy. Definitely the wrong choice looking back. But let's see how the new team fares against the Psychic Dragon team we previously lost against. With our frontline surviving much longer than before, they're able to withstand much more, allowing our backline to shine. No jackpot this time, but we'll pick up a win where we had previously lost. This round, I finally replaced that Goomy with our number one boy, Nummel. As I roll through the shop, I evolve myself a Morgrim, but then I realize I don't want to use it. A little bit of wasted money, but I'm not exactly poor, so no big deal. Anyways, we now face off against that wild team. They're looking super scary, and this time they very quickly overwhelm our front line and take us down. But regardless, we still have a good amount of health to spare and a lot of room for growth. Seeing that loss, I decide to cram my units in the corner, a lot less likely to be overwhelmed when we're backed into a corner. And as we continue to roll through the shop, we get closer and closer to evolutions, starting with a Weavile. As we take down this non-player round, I'll grab myself a Shiny Charm that's guaranteed tankiness, as it can prevent one-shots and make its holder invincible. And after a few more rolls, we're finally able to evolve our Poniard into a Bisharp. A viewer had corrected me in a comment that it's actually pronounced Bisharp, not Bisharp. See, that would be the case if my Bisharp wasn't actually Bisharp. My glorious shiny Bisharp is an LGBT icon, and shame on you for trying to take that away from it. In terms of stats, getting that Bisharp is a huge boost in damage. And even though our opponent is now infused with Psychic Synergy, our opponent is able to take down the majority of our team with that Psychic Volcanion, but our super-powered Bisharp is able to sweep the rest of their team, knocking our opponent out of the game and netting us another jackpot. At this point in the game, I can continue to spend my money and evolve even more Pokemon, but every money saved is just even more damage coming out of that bottle cap. So let's see how we fare in this next round against this super scary water team with a fully evolved Inteleon. If you look at the damage charts, that Inteleon just did so much damage and was able to sweep my entire team. So that's definitely not something you like to see. But for now, we'll grab ourselves a Reaper Cloth in this carousel. I'm also able to evolve my Happiny into a Chansey. And now I decide to center my team to hopefully not be decimated by that Inteleon. I also pick myself up a Snorunt, as that can give me Ice Synergy, which will give me some extra special defense. Unfortunately, I forgot to equip the Reaper Cloth, and repositioning my team was a little premature as we take on the Wild team. When I center my team, it's able to get swarmed once again, and I actually do almost win the round, but unfortunately that positioning change definitely cost me there. Anyways, this round I make a few changes to my team. I replace Numel and Snorunt with Snover and Misdreavus. Not really sure what I'm doing with the Misdreavus, but it's a non-player round, so it doesn't really matter. As a reward, I decide to grab myself a Choice Specs. The Choice Specs can go on my Chansey. That will allow it to give much more shields to the team. And if you're wondering why I'm not equipping the Reaper Cloth, believe me, I'm wondering the exact same thing. It's staring at me just as much as it's staring at you. I'm also amassing a ton of Dittos, and the dream scenario would be to get a King Gambit, but unfortunately, I'm only one loss away and I just don't have enough time or shop rolls to get what I want, so I end up committing to evolving my Onix to a Steelix, as well as evolving a Baneri into Lopunny. And as we take on the Psychic Dragon opponent, with our frontline even more powered up than before, this matchup ends up being no problem at all for us. I'm also lucky to have that Wild player knocked out, and I finally decide to throw that Reaper Cloth onto my Chansey, allowing its ability to critical hit and transfer even more shields onto my entire team. And as I roll through the shop, the only major evolution I'm close to is evolving that Snover into Abomasnow. Remember, I'm still trying to hoard as much money as I can to empower that bottle cap. I've played games with like 300 money held, but obviously I didn't have that luxury this game. For now, we'll position the best we can against that Inteleon. Right before the next round starts, I find the Snover that I need to make Abomasnow, but it's too late as the battle starts, with my Bisharp positioned in a way that makes it difficult to be sniped. It goes on a rampage this round, picking up kill after kill. We'll pick up another jackpot as we turn things around this battle. Right away in the next shop, I'm able to evolve the Abomasnow naturally, no Ditto needed. And in this round, I'm just constantly checking my opponent to see if they do any repositioning. I'm quite confident my team should be able to win, and since I'm so far away from any further evolutions, best to just hold on to my money. As the next battle is underway, once again our Bisharp just one-shots everything one after the other. Unfortunately this time it does get sniped twice in a row, but not before the rest of our team close in on that Inteleon. Protected by Chansey's insane shielding, they take down the Inteleon. Now we're going into another non-player round. I should probably just save as much money as I can, but I can't resist doing a few cheeky shop rolls. Maybe if I'm lucky I can find a King Gambit. Ultimately, I decide it's not worth the risk. As we take down this non-player round, I get a pretty poor selection of items. I decide to grab a Mana Scarf and throw it on the Lopunny, as Lopunny's ability can potentially drain PP. Glancing at my opponent's board, I notice that they reposition to the right side, so that's my cue to match that repositioning. The round starts before they're able to catch on, and let's watch this laggy final battle. Our Bisharp is able to evaporate our opponent's water team. The Inteleon is doing everything it can, but it's not enough, because as soon as our Bisharp looks at it, it goes down. And looking at the final charts of the game, I had over 100 gold lead on the player in second place. Admittedly, that money wasn't really spent, but still, that is the power of a round 1 bottle cap. But with that, thank you so much for watching, as always. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I'll see you in the next video.